Egunon. Egunon guztioi. Good morning, everyone. We welcome you to this talk, Confluence of Innovation and Performing Arts, that we are having today in ACuTe. I'm just putting this meeting in context and introduce the people that will take part in it. So ACuTe is one of the 14 partners in the project ACuTe, Culture Test Bed for Performing Arts and New Technologies, supported by the European Commission, and in which we are having the opportunity to test and innovate in contemporary stage creations. So ACuTe is carrying out different projects, for instance, a new production together with Xiomara Ormaete, a Basque dancer and choreographer that will premiere in 2025. And we are also hosting some residencies like the one from Deutsche Theater. Part of the team have spent some days in ACuTe testing their production Wonderland with some experts from different fields. And they are also taking part in this talk in which some issues related to the implementation of new technologies in live arts will be addressed. So let me introduce to you Carla Meder, Head of Dramaturgy at Deutsche Theater, Miquel Zorrilla and Sergio Cabrero from Digital Media Department in Beacon Tech, and Jaime de los Rios, New Media Artist, Researcher and Advisor in the ACuTe project. So at the end, we will have some minutes for Q&A, and yeah, I just give you the floor to start the talk. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Ainara, and hello to everyone. I'm really happy to be with all of you here and in your houses. So I want to start saying that we've had a really intense week thinking about the virtual reality artwork that Carla and her team have made during more or less two years or 1 year. The background of Carla and their team is theater. So they have been introducing a new technology, which is immersive 360-degree virtual reality technology. So the first thing I want to ask to Carla and Beacon Tech team is, can you give us, I don't know, some thoughts, or can you share with us something so we can affront ourselves or face ourselves with new projects with this virtual reality? But do you have kind of a new methodology to work with technology and scenic arts?
Actually, that's why we are here, to find out what we need, because the path that led us to this project, Wonderland, has been an adventure which happened during the COVID crisis, and we started to experiment in a very naive and intuitive way. And somehow we were quite successful, both in terms of public, critics, colleagues, and also artistically. And then we arrived at a point where we kind of now feel that we need to develop a new way of working on this if we want to continue this path. So I think it's a mixture between, what we found out so far, it's really a mixture between theater and film and technology. New technology we don't really understand as theater makers, and we really need to bring good people together in one room and work on different aspects like dramaturgy, set design, storytelling, narration, technical aspects, everything. So it's really we're at the point of developing a methodology to get results more effectively, I would say.
Okay, so I imagine that it's about making a new kind of team and also working with different times. You have a lot of experience helping other artists using technology.
Yeah.
What can you share with us something about this?
Yes, well, I would like to start saying thank you for inviting us, and also congratulations to Carla and all the team because of the piece and the outcome, but also because of this restless way of approaching how we could merge technology and art and so on. I think this process is really important, and what we learned also from previous experiences is that having a multidisciplinary team means to spend time understanding each other and not just talking the same language, but really understanding the meaning of the words and really the challenges and the things that, and the expectations of all the parts, the ones providing the technology, the artistical part, mixing the different perspectives and so on. So I think that this openness of all the people involved in such an experience and being able to lose power in terms of artistical and technological things and so on, knowing that when you are in a multidisciplinary team and in teamwork, you need to be open to provide your feedback and so on, but also to have influence of the others and to have a shared outcome. And I think that's very important. And that the technology, we are technologists, and we are always saying like, okay, this could be possible, this would be possible, and so on, but it's not just what you can do, it's what it makes sense for the story, for the storytelling, for what you want to explain. So this balance between really having something that makes sense and well integrated within the team, it requires, I don't know the magical answer for the methodology, but it takes time, it takes to understand together, to be together, to listen together, and then be able to create something together that will fit all these expectations and this restless point of views.
But for example, maybe you can tell us something about this, Sergio. When do you introduce technology? Before or during the process? What is first, narrative or technology? It's always this question we are having in ACuTe program.
I think it's a bit, it has to be, and as Mikael said, a bit of a mess at the beginning. So at the beginning, you will sit on the table, on the same table, maybe artists that are prone to use technology and artists that are reluctant to do that. And you will sit with technologies that really have a lot of ownership of their technology, and maybe it's not easy for them to explain. And you will sit with technologies that really want to make the thing work and the collaboration work. But at some point, I really believe that it's also about the ownership of the artist of the technology. So it's not only about mixing the ingredients and I put the art and you put the technology. At the end, the artists need to feel that it's also their own process, it's their own technology. It's not something alien that is coming to the project and we have to do it because we want to do something with technology. At the end, it has to be one more instrument, one more actor, one more piece, and they really need to feel it. And in a second stage, I would say, or maybe in a third stage already, I would say they need to shape it. So technology is really, I mean, we want to differentiate it for art, but the progress of technology is really very much, is close to an artistic project where you don't know what's going to happen with these devices in a few years, and you try things, and you test things, and you fail, and you start again, and you test it with people, and they like it or they don't like it, and some don't like it, and some don't like it. So it's not that different, the process. But if you have a way to shape from the cultural point of view or the artistic point of view, the way the tools and the devices are going to take, the result is going to be much better for the purpose.
you know, theater, the good thing is that theater usually is a very hungry medium. And there has been technology from the beginning, basically, and
sure.
you know, everything which was invented or is still there, basically. And you know, I'm working at the theater, Deutsches Theater, where the revolving stage has been invented in 1905 by an engineer who has been working at this theater, and all theaters around the world have revolving stages. And during a time when electricity was not very common, you know, the street lights hasn't been installed in Berlin, but you know, it's still there. So I think this openness and this curiosity that theater in general has leads to, you know, interesting encounters, and who knows where in the future. Yeah.
Oh, that's super interesting because we've been like one week, a very intense week, like thinking about your artwork, a virtual reality artwork. In this sense, always using a new technology. It can be, if I can say the word, a test. No. Do you think that finally theater, which is your background, can contribute to these immersive or virtual reality technologies?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Is that, yes.
Yes, I mean, because finally
Yes, of course,
you've done
yeah.
something that is, I don't know if it is theater or an installation, an immersive installation, you know, because, but acting was there, for example.
I think it's all about the content.
Okay.
And if you want to tell a story, you look for the form in which it should be presented. And sometimes it's opera, it's dance, it's whatever, it's choir, it's, I don't know, music. And new technologies just add another method or another medium. But I think it's a very strong and powerful thing, which, because if you put it back to Aristotle, then you have this cathartic effect in a much more like 100% more than in theater or film. And so we really should think about what to use it for, this technology. In theater, because it's new, it's powerful, and yesterday the director we were talking to, Maria, I forgot the last name, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She said it's we have to feel the responsibility which comes with using this, because you know we influence people always with what we do, and so it's not about playing around with new technologies, but it's about playing around for a reason. So I think yes, theater can, of course, do something.
Do
On
you
our
think-
side, we
like the
strive
other side?
for artists if you create new needs for us, right? Like when you design something like this, maybe a new camera, a new way to capture video, a new type of display, or a new way to coordinate the media you want to put in your play. These type of things, these needs really come from an artistic point of view, and so again, for me, it's not only here is what we have, you take it and make your play with it, but it's, okay, here is what you have, and you tell us, this is not enough, or I want something different. And we try to create it because I think it's really a way to push technology, especially when we are talking about very new and not mature technologies. It's really a good way to push it.
Yeah, I mean, there's this saying that theater is like a laboratory. We say that in German very often,
yes,
and
a
we
laboratory.
always mean more the content. You know, we're trying to propose things in terms of a story or, you know, utopian ideas, something like that. But it's also maybe a laboratory for like testing things and trying out.
And I think it is shown in the performance that we show that typically when we add these new ingredients and technology and so on, the boundaries between what is theater, what is filmmaking, and so on are much more smooth in that sense. And it's good to think that we are not using theater and making digital, but that we are opening new aspects and new storytellings that are not possible in what we understand or what we know about theater, because we can now tell different stories with different mediums and so on. And it's very well addressed in the piece we saw, and it opens a lot of opportunities in terms of completely digitally born for a specific set or environment and so on, that maybe at the end you say, oh, okay, is this theater, is this filmmaking, is it immersive, whatever, but that's not the real point. I mean, it could be it could be a mixture of all of them, but the important thing is what you transfer, the added value for the viewers and the meaning and what you transfer to them.
And in this sense, like looking at the future, which is it is almost the present, because it comes very very early. Finally, can you tell us any disruptive technology or some technology you can intuitively think about, like can be another step for theater, for scenic arts and art in general?
Well, we've
Because
been
you've
discussing
been working about telepresence and this kind of thing, which is
Yes.
we are almost there, no?
That's what I was thinking about, the concept in the previous discussion we had about mixed reality, or having, again, a smoother boundary between virtual reality or augmented reality, or something in between where you can switch in a very seamless way for the viewer from being away of the reality, parts of reality that you can touch, that you can feel, so you can have this haptics or whatever, that to be in somewhere mixed with actors that could be as an hologram or something like that, that are not there physically, but are very well integrated in the environment, so you are not even aware of what's real and what's not real, and that can lead and open a door for very, very interesting opportunities. And also in terms of making it a social experience, because we are always in the risk of being isolated with some headsets, like doing, okay, I'm watching this piece, but I'm on my own. And going to the theater, going to the opera, going somewhere is something very social. I want to go with you and be talking before entering and have a discussion after. So being able to socially be together on that experience, I think it's also a challenge that could be possible in the future, like we were going to the theater together.
I think, I mean, you're the guys who know the future or the possibilities for the future. I'm just the one, I'm a dramaturg, so I think, you know, we're now in the, I mean, when you put it historically, then you can say that in the 18th century, it was the century of the writers. It's still all there. Then the 19th century was the century where theater was made for actors. So the creative impulses came from the writers first, then the actors, then the directors in the 20th century. And now we're in the 21st century, and I think the creative impulses now come from the audience. Everything else is still there, you know, there are, actors, writers, directors, but I think the audience is the biggest force of giving us the most thought. I mean, we're thinking constantly about audience. And so I think it should come from the audience, what is invented new to make a new experience, new technologies. Yeah, should come from the audience.
It's some kind of a very particular experience, no? With artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
You can have your own content just for you.
Yeah, it's true that there will be a point where you can have your personal place, and if the actors or some of the actors are really digitalization or holograms or fully digital, you can get a completely personalized play for you, because you will be able to manage all that. That's still a bit far away, but it's something that I'm sure it will happen. Maybe we will like it, maybe we won't. Let's see. But that's something that's going to happen. And there is another thing, especially with immersive technologies, to add with what you already said, that I think we are in a process of making it less obvious. Now it's really obvious that there is, you have your glasses, and then you are immersed, and then you are isolated, and it's the same that happened with other technologies, right? For the audience here, is not that obvious that there is lighting, and in the stage there are many hidden things. So I think that will happen as well, that technology will become less and less obvious, and then it will become more and more natural, as it has happened before. So.
It's interesting what you are saying, because I remember when studying all first a long time ago augmented reality. That augmented reality is just two words, and you can see the interfaces have changed a lot, but it depends on if you wear glasses or goggles or if you see on a screen. But the first augmented reality, it was in theater with a candle in the Faust scenography. So I think we are here again, like pushing the boundaries of theater and technology. It's very good. I don't know if we have some questions from the audience, but if there are a lot, maybe we can have another time to answer these things, because we will continue making another ACuTe Talks. And so if you have any question, we are here to answer. But now we can continue our dialogues. So is there any future for virtual reality and Google's, really?
The short answer is nobody really knows. It looks like there is a future there, or at least there is a big industry push. And it's very difficult to find out what will be the final shape of this, right? If it will be contact lenses, if it will be normal glasses, if we will normalize wearing something that is completely different, right? Some years ago, it was weird to have something like a mobile phone. Now is the norm. So these things are very difficult to predict, but for sure the push, at least from the industry and the digital industry, is there, and we will see that the devices coming out are really accelerating, and there will be better devices and more powerful and with more capabilities. So I think we have glasses for a long time, but there are other devices as well. There are, I think, 3D screens, holographic boxes. There are many different ways to experience this type of immersive content that will also appear. And maybe for theater, the answer is not glasses, but this type of displays. We don't know that, but the options are going to be there for sure.
Well, so we have a very long future to think about all these things. Do you want to say something else about the future of theater, Carla? Do you think there's another step with your artwork, finally? We've been discussing with many people from many different backgrounds during this week in Azcuna. So I think everyone watched reality in a different way, and also the artwork, no?
Yeah,
And it was been surprising.
It was actually a very encouraging talks from various people, and what we learned is that we should really see this as a first result, as a step, maybe to better understand how it works and what we could do better in next projects. But I wanted to add something to your question, what maybe theater can add to or what I could tell the tech people from the point of theater. And I have to tell you that in summer I went to Greece, and I've been in the Epidaros Theater, which is one of the oldest theaters in the world, and it was like a very spiritual moment for me. I've been there the first time, and there are 5,000 people gathering in summer every weekend, and it's far away. It's like 2 hours away from Athens, so it's really like a journey to do. And this is the place where, for thousands of years, people performed. And I understood that during this time when these theaters were built, they were built always close to a temple, which was like an early clinic where people went for healing. And the ancient Greeks, they understood that it's not only about the body, it's also about the soul. So next to the clinic, they always built a theater. And I think this is something we really have to keep in mind when thinking about the future, that theaters or art, let's say, it's can be a healing place to challenge, to kind of, get some relief from all these crises, or gain some strength for all the things we have to do outside when we come back to the outside world, when removing our goggles or going out of the theater. And I think that's really something to keep in mind, that it's about people.
And I think that your role from the artistic perspective and the cultural and creative industries perspective is very important, because this, let's say in Europe, the European values and the things about the social impact, and that's really the main driver, and couldn't be the other way around. I mean, we don't need technology that it's coming from a multinational, that it's, oh, this is the hardware, this is the software, and now you do whatever in creative and cultural industries. No, if we want we need a very human-centric digital transition in terms of we adapt the technology for the purpose of this value transmission from theater, from music experiences, and so on. And I think this is also the European Commission's view towards how to use technology in the creative and cultural industries. And this is at least our approach as an applied technological research institute, to create technology always to the purpose of the artistical value, the artistical meaning, and so on. And that's the important way. So your role to really push the technology to the way that it should, that's very important, because otherwise, like the scenario that Sergio was envisioning for the future of completely personalized content, if there is not a value to say, if there is not a message that it's really the added value of the cultural part of the thing, it won't be. I mean, it would be something without a meaning, or even a bad meaning. So we really need to put the technology and everything towards that positive message, or this cultural message.
I think the networks are like flowing, and many people are asking things, but we can select one or two questions. Of course, the network. So, let's see. Okay. So, this is a very interesting question that we haven't talked about, but do you think there will be a generational change in the stage?
I don't know. I think at the moment we have like a divide between actors for theater and actors for television or cinema. It's a different way of acting, apparently, and also a different physical experience for the actors. And a generational, yes, of course. I mean, people are coming up, young generations. They have different skills, different ideas about what is worth to be told and how it should be told. So yes, of course, and it's good.
Very good. Yeah. So I think that we have more questions. Oof. This is incredible, the successful of Instagram. Maybe we should do more things in Instagram. Now we have found our young network. So social media is here. And what is the other? Of course. You know. Okay, another question. What happens to the connection between audience and actors in VR?
Yeah, that's
Where it goes.
the thing you were talking about. No?
We've been discussing that, for example, well, we did some experiences in theater, but in live experiences. For example, having a remote audience that can somehow react or interact with the actors. So, well, something that is very representative of theater, that the actors and the audience are in the same physical space, so you really feel the reactions or the energy or so on. So how to transfer that to the digital environment so that connection between the audience and the stage can be done. So for that, the live aspect seems to be very relevant, even if it's for remote audience, and to define clever or innovative ways of creating this engagement of interaction. Could be as obvious as putting someone from the audience in the stage interacting or talking directly to the actors and making or opening the door for improvisation, but there are more subtle ways or more specific ways that could be close to the narrative, so the audience somehow can show the reactions and provide that feeling to the actors and the
So we have to
stage.
read again Bertolt Brecht. No, we have to read again Bertolt Brecht and reread all the entanglement. No, again we have the same problems.
Actually, from the technological point of view, we can turn around what we said before about having actors as digital holograms or avatars, and actually the audience in their homes or somewhere else could be holograms in the theater for the actors to see their reaction and to live it, right? And there is some research already in how to capture the emotion of the audience that is remote. Probably a very challenging part is how to show that to the actors, because they are used to a way that is not what you have with remote audiences. But there is interesting research in that area, and I think there is an opportunity there with all the technological advances we have to have that.
I've seen a show where actors played with holograms actually, and it didn't really work because it's, apparently it didn't create the feelings in the physical actors, which we are used to, which kind of jump over to the public. So there's really some research to do, and what kind of story can be told in this way, or what is useful. Yeah.
Because you've been talking, and I was thinking about it. It amazed me a lot that sometimes I am the audience normally. No, I'm the audience. But you were talking that also it affects to the actors how they act when they don't have public. No, so they don't have that strength. No, and then the claps and all these things they are not there, no? So it's also that affecting the way of doing the artwork, no?
Yeah, I mean, the public, it's always good to remind an audience that they bear a responsibility for a good show. and that's not approval or something, but active listening. We all know how important active listening is when you have an engaged conversation, and I think it's the same thing. If that's missing, then something's missing.
Wow, these are, incredible thoughts, and it's amazing to share with you this little and very short time. But this is the first ACuTe Talk. I'm sure that we will have more, and we will continue working and experiences the hybridization of scenic art, theater, and technology. And thank you very much, Sergio, Carla, Miquel, and thank you to all the audience and to Azcuna and all the ACuTe partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.